Welcome, Summer. I'm so excited to have this interview with you today, and I would like to share your work with our Mycelial Network members and really go deep and explore your gifts and offerings and find out what exactly you're doing. And especially, we're intrigued about your flow dreaming technique. And as we discussed, we're going to experience it together right here, right? And that's the most precious, I feel, experience because we can get a taste of what it is. It's so intriguing. So yes, this is
Yeah.
Sama McStravick today, and Sama, if you can tell us a little bit about yourself and your work and this particular method that you're using, maybe we start right there.
Well, thank you. And I'm also delighted to be here. You and I have known each other for a couple of years at least now. So, and I love that you created the network for everybody as well, and slowly getting to know people there. So what I do is I teach and lead people into a space I call flow or flow, and through the process of flow dreaming. It is not a meditation, it's not self-hypnosis. It's more like an energy activation or a guided daydream.
Mm.
But the end result is that we go there to do things, to manifest, to get alignment, to feel alignment, to heal. We get into the space for all kinds of different things. And I first started doing it about 20 some years, 24 years ago,
Oh,
actually,
wow.
precisely. Yeah. Yeah. Back then, I was still working full time at a corporation, a publisher. It was called Hay House, um, building all of their audios and the Hay House Radio Network, all of that. Um, but there was a private practice that I did myself because I felt like all the other methods for manifesting out there at the time, 24 years ago, mind
Mhm.
you, I'm that old, just weren't doing anything. It's just it weren't
Mhm.
working for me. And meditation especially was so hard. So I, had this practice on my own, and eventually it led to writing a book about it, and then jumping off and having my own website and the whole company. Now, over all this time, like the world changed and manifesting in a secret came out, and the coaching as a term started to happen a lot, bigger. Before that, I just called myself a mentor or a teacher.
Mhm.
And I would teach people, you get into this space with me. It's super simple. And then we can make happen whatever you want to have happen. So I've just built my whole life basically around this.
Mm.
Um, I'll describe it really briefly, like in three little parts to it. And
Mhm.
we'll go ahead and take people into the space so that you can feel
Yeah,
it
absolutely. I'm excited to be,
together.
in this space with you and experience it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so the first part is what I mentioned already, guided daydreaming. It's a little different than meditation in the sense that you are going to use your imagination and step off into that place where you would normally get lost in a daydream. Like, and we all do this all the time. We're always daydreaming. Often our daydreams are about working out problems or bad things. We're going to do the opposite kind of daydream. The one where you are imagining that you are going on vacation next week to Hawaii, and you're going to feel the water on your toes and the sand under your feet, and kind of really rev up with some rich imagery, if possible. If you're not a person who can visualize, it's okay. The only reason we do the daydreaming is because it's a natural and instinctive way for us to kind of unhook from reality around us,
Mm.
because we literally go to a different place. We lose track of time when we're there. Half the time, we don't know what we've just been doing for the last 10 minutes. We know we were doing something, but we were someplace else. So we're going to use that. And when we do that, it's going to lead us to what I call flow state. And a lot of people teach about flow state now, but usually with a more, um, what do you call it? Success mindset, optimal brain performance, that kind of thing, which is good. I mean, yes, being in flow will get you into that zone, right? That state where everything just, your writing is perfect. Everything about you're just in that space. Um, I use it a little differently. When we go into flow and we daydream our way to that space, instead of applying it to a thing that I'm doing, I'm actually applying it to a kind of spiritual connection that I'm making. So for me, I kind of go into the woo-woo space, right? Which is I want to connect with all that is. I want to connect with the powerful flow of my own life as it
Mm.
moves forward through time. I want to connect with the flow of all things as they are all evolving and growing and all the little experiences that are ready to happen for us ahead right now, just 1 minute from now, there'll be a whole new set of them. So I
Mhm.
call it flow in that sense. And it's really kind of like a communication network. It's what I
Mhm.
love about Mycelium Network because
Mhm.
it's a space for kind of infinite communication.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I could talk forever about other concepts of flow. It's sort of multi-layered. But the third piece is we are daydreaming our way there. We are getting into flow. And then finally, what do you do there? And I kind of hinted already, you can manifest, you can heal, you can do all that, but how do you do it? And this is where, for me, as a technique, I feel like I can sit down for 10 minutes a day and just create. I can have this deep, intense, energetic conversation that's even more than a conversation because I'm sort of sifting and changing and moving things around in my life, in my future, my wants, the picture that I'm painting. So we do this through emotion. So we're going to go into flow. And instead of saying, imagine that you have a brand new house and you love this house, and the house has a blue door and it's got 9 windows and a sunny kitchen and all those details, we take an opposite route. Instead, we say, I'm going into my flow and I'm feeling an intense, beautiful sense of home. And I feel safety. Sorry, I close my eyes when I sort of without
Yeah,
thinking
go
when I go
ahead.
here.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm looking for and feeling now a sense of safety, security, home. I love where I live. I love the neighborhood I'm in. It's exciting but calming. It's got everything I need. This place is so affordable. I could be here the next 10, 20 years. This is fitting everything that I've been longing for. This space around me, this home, all of my needs are met.
Mm.
So
Beautiful.
what I've just done is I've identified the area that I want to communicate to my future about,
Mhm.
and I've painted it in terms of what I call emotional endpoints.
Mhm.
So not the thing, because I think the thing that I want is a home, and maybe I do need a new house, but really I want that new house because I want to have a set of feelings or experiences inside myself.
Mhm.
So everything will always end up with a feeling state at the end. So we're going to go into this place and I'm going to ask you all to feel with me. Feel very intensely. So the other aspect of this is that I call it making an energy blueprint, an energetic emotional blueprint. So imagine we're building a house and you have all the construction people and you've got boards and bricks and wheelbarrows and everybody's sitting there and they're saying you're building a house and we're all here, you've got all the materials, what are we building? And you're like, I don't know, just build it. And you get this hot mess, right? This is this horrible hot mess of a house with no kitchen and 17 bathrooms or whatever. um that's sort of like most of us when we are doing life. We go to work and we're doing stuff and we're handling all this material stuff and we've got goals and we're kind of chipping away at our to-do list to get there, but it's all very one-dimensional. It's all in the realm of action or physical. That's like all the construction guys going, we can build stuff, and gals and thems and everybody, construction people. We could build stuff, but we need some guidance here. So I look at the world as having a physical aspect and a non-physical aspect, just like everything else, yin, yang,
Mhm.
backwards, forwards, up, down, light, dark. You've got physical and non-physical. So when we're going into flow, we're actually creating like that blueprint for the house and we sculpt it and we write it in and we feel it in
Mhm.
essentially. So I think of it, I mean, you can actually imagine it like a blueprint, but for your life. And
Mhm.
that blueprint, the way you draw on it is through your emotions, right? This
Mhm.
is this is how I feel with love. This is how I feel in my body. This is how these are the things I'm longing for. These are the things that I need to release and heal. And it
Mhm.
all gets sketched in. So now you have this non-physical blueprint and you have the physical real world action. The two of them are working together so
Mhm.
that the physical stuff now knows what it should be doing based on what the non-physical says. The non-physical, of course, is not building it, but it is directing it. It is showing the complete picture about what it is we're craving and yearning and trying to become, as beings and souls. So
Mm.
that's sort of the whole idea in a short nutshell. Short nutshell. That's a mixed metaphor in a nutshell. But the best thing is to kind of just go in and experience it. And then, everybody can decide if they want to use it again. You can do the technique totally for free. That's how I've always taught it, just sharing it with everybody. So if
Mm.
you want, we can go.
Yeah, let's dive in and then we'll can a little bit of integration, maybe have some
Okay.
questions. So and
Awesome. Yeah, I know we don't want to go forever, but I could talk for hours. So try to keep
well,
it,
it's
keep it.
fascinating because this is something that we all want, and it's like everybody talks about it, but barely anybody really mastered it. It's like really like creating like
Yeah.
a methods or blueprints, and like and there are just so many
Yeah.
meditations these days, but people still struggling. So if you take us there and you guide us and like show the direction and create space, I
Hmm.
feel it's very important and very valuable experience, and I'm really excited to experience. And by the way, everyone who is watching, here, that you can join this space and experience it, and then
Oh, yeah.
we can you know connect and
Oh, yeah.
talk about it and share with others, right?
Beautiful. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I hope everybody, if anybody who's listening right now will close your eyes if you're able to and sort of go into this space. And if you can't close your eyes, think about how often we daydream and our eyes are wide open, but we're not there anymore. You can learn to do it either way, but it does help in the beginning to shut off as much external stimuli as you can. Um, yeah, so we'll go in and probably what we'll do is just get everyone into a beautiful sense of alignment. Because once you kind of hook into that universal flow, the flow of all things, you realize what a very rich, like deep tropical sea of possibility and potential that there is there. So all the other stuff you want to create, you're in sort of like the primordial soup of creation. Okay, so let's go ahead and close your eyes. I like to yawn in the beginning, or sigh, or a yoga breath, a lion. Ah, you're going to just let your body take a little break for a few minutes. And I like to check in and notice where I've been holding tension from my day. I usually start at my hips and I roll them a little bit. I let my ribs circle. This causes my abdomen to release, my lower back to soften. I continue the softening all the way up my spine, letting my shoulders drop, letting my neck move from side to side or back and forth. I open and close my jaw, releasing any tension there, and on up to my brow. I just begin by noticing the space around me, wherever I am, as if I'm extending my awareness outward, letting my awareness glide and crawl and move up and down the walls, over the furniture. If I'm outside, I'm feeling the trees and the grass, as if I can see them right there in my mind's eye. I can feel and sense everything. And I am aware too that everything around me appears very solid because I am solid, physical. But if I were very, very small, I would see everything around me as a dancing galaxy. I would see a galaxy of dancing molecules, dancing atoms, all clinging together into their beingness, into whatever it is they are. A chair, a phone, a blade of grass, all energy swirling and in motion, It's in motion because every second that's ticking by, all of this energy is creating and recreating itself. It's happening to itself over and over. It's staying in its original position, or it's growing and changing, or suddenly moving and going to a new position. Everything in motion, everything billowing forward. And that's when I notice myself. I see myself outside right now, maybe taking a walk down a beautiful broad path. Around me is trees and sunlight, beautiful grasses and wild flowers and butterflies. And the whole world seems to sparkle, as if there were fireflies in the daytime, lighting up the blades of grass, dipping through the trees. I can hear the sound, beautiful, in the bird song in the distance. And as I move forward, I can feel my body light as a feather, light as air, bouncing and buoyant, gliding and moving. And maybe I just want to dance and twirl forward, feeling for a moment that excitement, as if I'm on the moon, that kind of weightlessness. Because as I move into this path, I recognize that it goes as far as I can see. This is the path of where I'm going right now. I've been on it forever. If I turned around and looked behind me, I'd see where I've been, stretching out way far behind me. And behind me are all the events and people and things and feelings that I've ever experienced. All there, cataloged, felt in me now. They're part of me now. They've been etched into my very being, my very universal soul that I am, ancient and wise, and yet still moving forward, learning, gathering even more experiences. And again, I bring my eyes forward and I notice for a moment how I don't make this path. I'm just on it. It feels as right and good and pure as if someone had set me here millennia ago and said, walk forward, have desires, create things, feel things, know yourself. Know yourself through the space of living, and someday through the space of non-living, you will continue to experience and expand and know yourself. And this is the path of purity for you, the path of everything being exactly what you need, when you need it, where and how you need it. And you're drawn along it. And you realize it's under my feet all this time, all these years. And it truly is, as you think about the gift that you've been given here in life, in living, every moment waking up and there's oxygen all through the air, everywhere for free. And you drink it into your body and your body exhales it back out into life and the world. And there's food everywhere. And you bring it into your body and let it go again. Everything you need around you, food, sleep, air, water, sunlight, other people that you get to bounce things off of, experiences and loving families and friendships and awarenesses. And you realize this is a very full planet. It's literally got everything: resources, trees and dirt and iron and ore and earth and intelligence and music and conversation and others. This planet is overflowing with abundance. And as I move forward, I'm picking and choosing what are the things I'm going to experience tomorrow and the next day. Who wants to do it with me? I want to gather you together, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to show myself, I'm going to show my future. Here are some experiences that I really, really want to walk into. I want all the flows of all things to come together, to align with me, to align in this direction, and I will align to you in turn. And we're like braids of light snaking silkily through this universe, coming together, sharing, and then parting ways. And however long it takes, you bring to mind something that you've been craving, wanting, desiring, hoping for, secretly wishing for. Just let it be there. See it as if you're holding a crystal ball in your hand. It feels weighty, beautiful. It's reflecting all the light around you, wherever you are now, still on this path, still surrounded by this gorgeous sort of otherworldly nature. This thing you've been desiring, you're holding it weighty in your hand. It's a swirling ball of light. And you're carrying it with you into your future. And you're saying to this thing, this desire, this deepest thing, if you just happened, everything would change. If you just happened, everything would just flow in a new and better way. If you came to me, if we could experience each other, if I could bring you deep into my life and really have you and become this or receive this or heal this or whatever it may be, it would be a game changer. And everything else from there would fall into place. And you can feel the energy responding. And it says, okay, okay. It's as easy for us to pull this together as it is for us to give you your morning cup of coffee. It's that easy. It makes no different scale. That means nothing to us. All things are just the same principle. We'll pull together the necessary components and you step in and experience them. And you say, yes, big things, small things, middle things, all the things. And you say, then this is what I'm desiring for the greatest good of all. And as you say that, the light in your hands lifts and you can feel this energy spring forward like a flock of beautiful silvery birds flying into the air, flying in every direction. And they're gathering right now all the right circumstances, all the right elements, the perfect moment in divine timing, all the other people or situations or resources that want to have this experience with you. They're all here. They're all coming together. And you know there will be, because there is so much out there. You can't even wrap your mind. The grains of sand on all the beaches would not even encompass all the potentials and possibilities that are already flowing forward, being put together and being aligned into you and your life right now. And you say, yes, I'll take this. And I'm going to let myself step and glide and twirl right into this. And I will have this experience and I will enjoy and become deeper from it, more expanded from it. I will give back as a result of it. I will grow. I will heal. I will, yes, 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 yes. And as you say that, you drink it in, you say yes, and you feel that experience already here with you, already happening, that beautiful thing that you've been wanting and that feeling that it gives you, that feeling above all. Now I feel safe. Now I feel loved. Now I feel seen. Now I feel like I know what it was all for. Now I feel creative freedom. I feel time freedom. Now I feel healed, healed in every way. Now I feel it. And you bring it in and you drink it in. And you let it shimmer around you in a shower of beautiful lights. It's a cloak of stars that you gently tie around your shoulders. And it floats behind you all day, every day. Even as you continue moving already, minutes more into your future, knowing you've just painted this into your life, into this world. You've painted and felt the vision. You've given it life. You gave it the seed, and now it grows. And with that, you find yourself coming back, returning from flow, and opening your eyes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This is magical. You're like magic fairy. Took us to this world that is planet Earth. Like it's like this is the planet paradise. We're here already. This
Yeah.
abundance, this prosperity that we're seeking, it's right around us. It's not something to chase. It's like this is something that is right here. And it's this shift of perception that is so powerful to should absorb that and become that in the moment,
Yeah.
because it is here. It's so man-made, the scarcity thing, it's so man-made, and like how much we focus on the dollar amount rather than like the feeling of abundance and experience in your body. And for me, this is the pathway, because like I can't, even in my business, I can't even think I should make this much money. Like it just doesn't translate into my body.
Yeah.
But when I feel that, like I felt these electric streams, like the pulsing of
Yeah.
electricity through entire my body.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, And your
Yeah.
voice is like you could make some kind of movie, or like your voice is so, it's like perfection. It's like you don't stop, you are in the flow. I can feel that you are in the flow with all these words and all this frequency coming through you. So that was beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful experience. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, people say, "Are you channeling that?" And I'm like, you know what? I'm a tour guide. What I'm doing is it's sort of like removing the veil of the physical
Mhm,
and showing people this is what's within the physical right now. Like just take a look at it from this different perspective and let's start rearranging things from here
mhm,
because we throw all of our lives toward all the physical work that we do,
mhm,
very rarely acknowledging this other 50%, right?
mhm,
Which is powerful and potent and begging us to give it our awareness.
mhm,
So every time I go into flow like that, I see different scenery. I talk about different things. Um, it's just whatever is going to most bring that emotional state. But like you said, you know, you've probably practiced a lot of energy work, right? So
mhm,
you will have responses. Like I often get goosebumps on the top of my
mhm,
legs, even though
mhm.
it's like literally 82 degrees Fahrenheit here right now.
Yeah, yeah. I felt it in my like
Yeah,
arms, in my
yeah,
chest, in my
mm,
belly, like electric streams, like electric
yeah,
currents,
yeah,
activating. I was like, whoa,
yeah,
and yeah, it
yeah,
comes out like a goosebumps, and it was like
yeah,
this very exciting feeling of becoming more, how the Joseph Campbell was saying, transparent to transcendence,
yeah,
removing that veil of separation between physical and
yes,
spiritual, and you
yeah,
literally feel it in your body. And then Joe Dispenza now, like everybody talks about his work because he really explains it in a scientific way. He kind of
mhm,
says the same things. When we get into the states, we become more magnetic. Our electromagnetic field
yeah,
expands and strengthens around us, our physical body, and
mhm,
literally we become more magnetic and more powerful
yeah,
in the quantum field. So I did feel it this within the
yes.
7 minutes. It's like,
I
whoa.
know. I don't know how long it was, but yeah, I call it playing the long game.
Mm,
A lot of manifesting nowadays is like very popular and kind of dumbed down. And for me, I am resculpting my emotional, energetic self every single
mm,
day after day, month after month, year after year. And every time we experience something, it becomes part of us. So I look at it like going to the gym every day,
mhm,
but for my emotional, energetic self.
mhm,
My life will react. And like you said, as you experience something, you become more aligned to that thing,
mhm,
more resonant with it, or more coherent with it. So my goal is to change my resonance, to change my coherence. And the only way to do that is by practicing those feelings now.
mhm,
Because I always say, look, I'm showing life. This is how I'm resonating. This is what I'm aligning with and to. But for me to show it to you, I actually have to feel it. Like you won't know it unless I give you what it looks like. Oops, sorry about that. I think that's my dog. Could you hear him? Yikes.
just barely, barely.
Oh, good, good. Sorry about that. I
No
must have
problem.
had the door open. Anyway, if you don't mind, sorry, I think he's gonna stop. Uh, so I'm building that in myself day after day, moment after moment.
Mm,
And eventually a big chunk of myself becomes that resonance, becomes that energy. And my long game here, my bigger goal is that I have more of that in me than I have all the other kind of stuff I don't want, like lack thinking,
mm,
limiting beliefs, scarcity thinking, etc.
mhm,
Right? The more that I'm creating this other part of me, the less room there is in me for that other stuff,
mhm.
essentially.
Yeah.
And then in a response, life will start to give me the things that are aligning with that. So
Mhm,
I might do flow dreams just like the one we did today, which is for like something beautiful that we're working on. But I do them for specific things. Like I've recorded, I think, over 300 of these. They're like guided meditations, but they're guided flow dreams for very specific topics.
mhm.
Everything from getting that new house to
Yeah.
one of my favorites is I call it Be Seen, and it cultivates an energy, a part of yourself that says, I safely allow the world to see my gifts. My gifts are exposed, my gifts are valued, and I am absolutely seen. And it's especially good for, healers and coaches and people who
Mm-hmm.
want to share their gifts, but they're
Yeah.
like, oh, will they want me? And who will it be the right people? I'm like, just allow yourself to be seen,
Mm-hmm.
and then watch as all the people come in and look at you
Yeah.
and get comfortable with that energy, because that's the one you want. Because then the right people get to step forward and say, I see you and you're just like me. Let's do
Mm-hmm.
this.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So I mean, like, you could use this for literally anything.
Yeah, yeah, creating that field around you, right? Showing up
Hmm.
and creating the field, and then it's like inviting with this frequency and the right people showing up. It's like how,
Yeah.
like people get into this how are they gonna do it? It's like you don't need to know.
Yeah.
It's not our business to know how. The universe will arrange. We just need to say yes when we see it and we recognize, the frequencies and the people and all this, but just like a broadcasting that frequency into the world.
Yeah.
That's, I feel, what we're doing with our work.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
even like with this interview, okay, we want people to see, to feel, to tune in, to connect.
Hmm.
you know
Precisely.
it's so powerful. Mm.
Yeah. So, anybody watching this is the right thing for you to be doing right now, the right words for you to be hearing. And now you're in this alignment too, right?
Mhm.
That's kind of how we work things going forward. It's how I surround myself with the absolute best people in my life.
Yeah.
Because I'm putting out a certain energy and they're aligning to that energy. And people often say, how do you have, like, how come you don't have all these negative people and et cetera in your life? And I say, well, been working a really long time to align to a certain kind of beingness.
Hmm.
Negative people, it's sort of like, I often say it's like two planes, like we aren't on the same level. So we,
Hmm.
we just pass each other.
Right.
If we're together, we're going to hit each other and we'll be part of
Hmm.
each other's life. I mean, that's a terrible image, not hitting each other, but but we're birds flying, right? And we fly together,
Hmm.
but somebody else at a different set point in them, we can
Hmm.
be flying in the same direction and never really connect, never meet at all.
Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly.
it's all part of this
That's
work.
that's how people get triggered. If you are triggered, then you kind of like go to that wavelength where the
Yeah.
trigger resides and like somebody's there and you start feeling
Hmm.
kind of like
Yeah, because there's something in
that.
here in
Hmm.
you that's saying,
Yeah.
oh, hello, I recognize that feeling.
Hmm.
Okay. And it comes up. But triggers, the stuff that comes up is to come up, to come out,
Hmm. Yeah, not to
right?
hold on to them,
Yeah,
not to stay in
exactly.
that frequency.
Yeah, and my goal is I want any yucky stuff like that up and out. I mean, up
Mhm.
and out, up and out. So hold on a second here. Look, I'm right in the middle of an interview. Sorry.
No problem.
My son, he would know this.
That's life, we just can
Apologies.
allow the
I
love.
forgot to I forgot to close my door. And the dog's in here, my son's in here, or put
That's
on my mean mom
life.
voice. That's all right.
Right. Well, thank you so much for this amazing experience. I'm sure it will be so valuable, and it's exciting also for people to do experiential work. It's actually a great idea. I'm gonna bring it forward with other people because it's the most valuable thing, to share. Like here you go, we already experienced it. And if
Yeah.
somebody wants to connect with you one-on-one and like have maybe a little sample of more of this, will you be available to give them
Oh,
maybe
sure.
a little bit different, version of
Yeah.
all these beautiful activations?
Yeah. Just go to my website, flowdreaming.com. FLOW, F like Frank. Poke around. I've got a ton there, a ton of free stuff. Um, my podcast has like 750 plus episodes, I think, right now,
Oh, wow.
where which is like 700 hours of teaching and sharing and some flow dreams. So yeah, those are the best places. YouTube, I have a free tutorial there.
Mm.
Um, so those are all good. And then of course, just reach out. Like, I answer my email myself. So, I don't have a VA who sifts through it. I just like, nope, I want to see what everybody says. So reach out and say hi, and I'll
Mhm.
say hello back.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I'll share all the links to your beautiful gifts and activations and your website so people can check it out. And
Thank you.
our August theme is prosperity. So that was so good to
Yay.
talk about this. I feel like August is like prosperous month, with always
Yeah.
lion energy and this
Yeah.
kind of like owning who you are and your gifts and attracting exactly who you are, not even what you deserve, but what and who you are. So it's like, I think that's the theme for this month. So that was so aligned with our activation
Perfect.
today. Yeah, thank you so much,
100%.
Summer.
Thank you, Lana. And
Looking
again,
forward.
apologies for the interruptions. It's Mercury retrograde. It's happening right now.
Oh,
So,
really? Okay, good to
yes,
know.
just keep that in mind.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I will see you soon. I'll connect with you soon again.
I'll see you at the next event. Okay, bye.